Hey, y'all. Happy New Year. Happy 2020. We're in a new decade. Oh boy. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I hope you like what you see. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being a real one and coming back. Honestly, truly. So, oh boy. Honestly, I was going back and forth about what would my first video of 2020 be. At first I was like, I'll do like a style thing and talking about, like how to dress my body type. And then I was like, I'm not sure if I want to do that because I feel like that can be misconstrued in a different way. People might think that I'm trying to say you can't wear certain things, and that's honestly not what I was trying to do. Then I was like, well, maybe I'll talk about like some beauty stuff. And I was like, I don't really feel like talking about stuff like that. And so this is the issue. Full transparency, full honesty, this is the issue because I want to talk about a lot of different things. A lot of people are like, no, you should have a niche when it comes to YouTube or anything or any platform. Like, what's your niche? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I figured, I was like, you know what? This year, 2020, I'm just going to talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. If it resonates with some people, it resonates. If it doesn't, well, it doesn't. Like, you don't have to love every single video that someone puts out. And I had to just realize that I'm like, nobody has to like every single thing I put out. As long as I like it. As long as me, Seyi from UA, enjoys the content that she's putting out. Then at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And if it resonates with some folks, then that's great. I was just sitting here and I'm like, a lot of people were going on and on about 2020. How are you going to start this decade? How you finish the last decade? And to be honest, real talk, I was getting very annoyed. I was just like, oh my God. The consistent of start off strong and finish off strong and keep going, don't stop. And it's like, okay, but sometimes you do need to stop. Sometimes it's okay to sit down and reflect for the first couple days in the new year. You don't have to hit the ground running. And for me, I think that clicked in early 2018 or 2019, I can't remember what year, but I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm not making any more New Year's resolutions because I was putting this unnecessary pressure on myself to complete things. And then if they didn't get completed in the time that I thought they should have got it completed, then I was upset, annoyed, getting down on myself. So I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, look at you. You didn't even do what you wanted to do. Like, what are you even doing with your life? Like, how dare you not complete it? And it was messing up with my mind internally. I was just feeling not good enough because I felt like I wasn't sticking to my plan. Life is hard. I, for one, understand that completely. My decade was derailed the middle of the decade. My mother passed away from cancer. Do you know how that completely threw everything out of whack? I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to graduate from grad school and then I'm going to go into my profession, whatever that is. And then I'm going to make it and I'm going to let my mom rest. I'm going to retire her and then we're going to go on vacation to do all these things. I had a whole plan for the decade. And then 2016 came and my life was catapulted from what I thought I knew and threw me into an area that I had no idea what was going on. Losing my mom was quite literally the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Nothing else can compare to that. God forbid anything else happens to me, but that is at the top of the list. And I'm able to talk about it now in this sort of way. Obviously, I'm still grieving. I'm still dealing with life. I'm still dealing with the fact that she's gone. I'm still dealing with the fact that this is my new reality. As I'm entering into 2020, I'm like, okay, new decade, a fresh start in a sense. But that's not to say that the next 10 years, who knows what the next 10 years has in store? Who honestly really knows? There could be so much that could happen. And it's 10 whole years, y'all. I need people to understand, 10 years, that's a long time. And so all that to say, instead of making resolutions per se, I've decided to make more intentions, things that I intend to do this year. And then hope that those things kind of have a ripple effect that will lead to other things. Because a lot of people, a lot of time we make these resolutions and we expect that things will happen immediately, not understanding that there are times to lay the foundation and then there are times to reap whatever was laid. So there's a time for sowing, there's a time for planting, and like, you know, putting the seed in the ground and watering it and watering it and watering it and continue watering it until you feel like, oh my God, I'm so damn tired of watering this seed. And then there's moments where the seed grows and it flourishes and it thrives, and you, the seed, are living your best life, something that you could have never imagined because you put in the work to watch that thing grow, to make it grow. One recommendation I have as like an intention for the new year is to stop looking at other people and thinking that like just because it happened for them in this way, that it's happening for me in that same exact way. Even if you follow that exact same path. I wish I would have known this about 5 years ago, because I feel like I've been kind of indoctrinated to be like, okay, you do this, 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 and you will get ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. Well, guess who didn't get those things in the way that the other person got it? And guess who's sitting there looking like kind of like Boo Boo the fool, because I was comparing my journey to that next person's journey. So intention. Stop doing that. And I know obviously it's easier said than done, but when you catch yourself looking at somebody else's life and saying like, I'm doing the exact same thing, why am I not reaping the same reward? Nip it as in like battle it with whatever you need to battle it with. I'm a believer. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. So I try to battle it with the word of God. Like, and trust me, I'm not perfect in that arena. Like, there are times where I forget and I go into a wormhole, and I go into a wormhole of worry and despair and all this stuff. But I make it an intention to be more cognizant that when those things come up, I immediately tell myself like, okay, Seyi, you're on your own path. You're on your own path. You're on your own path. God knows your life. God has a plan for your life. Whatever that plan is, you need to just be okay. Stop looking. Stop comparing. Another intention is doing things out of love versus out of obligation. I think there's a tendency to confuse love and obligation and kind of mix the two. Obviously, if you love something, you do feel obliged to either take care of it, to watch over it, to cater to it, etc., etc. That's understandable. I also think it's important to understand that doing things just strictly out of obligation, like I just have to do this, like this has to be done and that's it, can lead to excessive burnout, which I have experienced. And I personally am talking about doing like being a content creator. It gets to a point sometimes where I noticed I was doing things just because I felt like I needed to do them, because I felt like if I didn't do them, then I would not have gotten the things that I've gotten, whatever, however that makes sense. But I was just like, okay, in order to get C, I need to do A and B together. And if I couldn't get to B, then all of a sudden I felt like C would never come. The thing about it though, C still came when I took a moment to step back and just said, you know what, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. Do the best you can with what you have. There's no point in trying to like force to do something and then all of a sudden you no longer enjoy it because you feel like you need to do it, because you feel like if you don't do it, then something is not going to happen for you. I personally am tired of living that way. It's exhausting. It's tiring. It makes my head hurt. I get annoyed with it. And so I'm telling myself, do things out of love and not obligation. All right, the next thing. I am intending to buy groceries and stop spending money on food. Now, I can admit that I'm the type of person that like, I get tired. Like I work and then I have like events to go to, or I have to edit a blog post or edit a video and do all this stuff, and I be tired. I'm like, God, I'm tired. I don't want to cook. I don't want to. That doesn't equate to I can't cook. It just means that I simply would rather not. My aunt said something to me over my holiday break that kind of resonated with me. And she was just essentially talking about cooking at home and having food in the house. And at first I was kind of taken aback, like, but then with me, anything, like once I have time to process what is being said, I'm like, you know what? She's very right. Like, make it a point to enjoy the food that I have at home. My mom used to say we have food at home whenever I would ask for McDonald's. And she was right. We did have food at home. I just didn't want to make it. I was just like, McDonald's is right there. It's quick. It's easy. It's 1, 2, 3. But the amount of money I would spend on food, wow. I can admit it's bad. Like, it's not good. And I'm vowing that in 2020 I'm going to do better, because I feel like kind of having control in this area of my life will help me to have control in other areas of my life. And so it's something small, but yeah, I'm going to just stop. I'm going to limit my eating out. It's going to be hard. But I went grocery shopping. I got some food in the house, last me for the week, and I'm gonna take it weekly. You know, instead of thinking I need groceries for the month, I just need groceries for the week. Okay, and that's it. Another one that has to deal with money is shopping less and shopping smarter. So I talked about this on my Instagram stories, but one rule of thumb for me when I shop is essentially if I can't make like 3 to 4 different outfits with the thing that I'm buying, then I don't need to get it. And that has significantly helped me in reducing how much I shop and how much I buy. Because before I used to just shop and I used to just buy stuff because they look cute. And I was like, ooh, that look cute. Without thinking like, okay, can I actually get multiple wears out of this? I couldn't. I would wear it one time and then that'll be the end of it. And I'll be sitting there like, and I'll be looking at it in my closet like, I'm going to wear you again eventually. Don't worry. 2 years later, it's like, I haven't worn it. And I end up giving it away because I'm like, I know I'm not going to wear it. And so now that I shop with more intention, which I guess in a sense is shopping a little bit more sustainably, I'm able to, round out my closet with stuff that I can pair with different things very easily. 2, I'm not stuck on trying to buy stuff just because somebody else has it, because I'm like, okay, do I really need that in my closet? Especially if I have something similar, I'm like, okay, I don't really need this. And the shopper in me, because I love to shop, is struggling, because she would like to just buy. But me, the rational one, is saying, no, let's chill, let's take a moment, and let's look in your closet, because I have clothes to wear. That whole, I don't have nothing to wear is a lie. I have something to wear. I just need to just focus, just laser focus into my closet and see what I have. But I just think that we become into this culture, especially with like style influencers and such, just influencers in general, where you feel like you need to buy. And honestly, you don't. You really don't. Even me, I always tell people when I share stuff, I'm not telling you need to buy it. I'm just putting it on your radar. Maybe when you run out of something, you're like, oh, okay, let me try that thing that Seyi talked about, a month ago. And then that's it. But don't feel the pressure to be buying just because someone else is buying. No more of that in 2020. No. Another one of my resolutions, intentions, is to do a lot more giving back. I truly have a special place in my heart for helping people. And there's a special place in my heart for helping a specific group of people, so single mothers, essentially. And so that is an area that obviously means a lot to me because my mom was a single mom. And so in that area, I'm like, okay, I have visions for what I would like to do in the future, but I'm like, what can I do with what I have right now to help that group of people? And I'm going to do my research and actually figure out who. I know there are organizations out there who already kind of lend aid. And so I'm going to figure out, because if I want to do something like that in the future on a scale that, I'm like, I can't even fathom, then how can I go ahead and hop to that if I'm not even utilizing and cultivating what I can do right at this moment? You know what I'm saying? It's like saying, God, give me $5 million. But with the $50 you have, you don't even steward it properly. It's like, how am I gonna give you $5 million when I know you're just gonna blow it? Because with this $50, you blow it. You don't even use it wisely. And so I that's been ringing in my head. It's like, okay, all the stuff I'm asking from God and all the stuff that I'm saying, I'm like sowing is like, what am I doing right now in this moment to actually make it like happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing with the resources that I have right now to make said thing happen in the future for me? What can I do with the resources? I mean, I'm able-bodied. I can move. I can help. I can lend when I can. It's like, so let me do those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do what I can right now to aid. So when I get to the future, I'm like, okay, I was able to use what I had at that moment, so let me figure it out now. At least once a quarter. I want to try to make it once a month, but at the minimum, I'm going to say once a quarter. So that's 4 times a year. I feel like that's not that much. So that's definitely something I can definitely try to do. And my last intention is to take time to rest. As in, do absolutely nothing. My version of resting these last couple of years have been like active rest. It's like when you're working out and you have a rest period, but you like still gotta kind of do a slight jog. And I'm like, I'm working out. I'm like, okay, y'all telling me rest, but me resting when working out is sitting down and taking a breather. To my workout instructor, resting is like, okay, doing a little hop and a skip and a jump and a jump. I'm like, my dude, that's not resting to me. I'm still working out. And that is the mentality I have taken into my life. It's like I would rest, but it wasn't rest. I was like still doing stuff and claiming that I'm resting, but I'm still doing stuff. And it wasn't until this past holiday break that I went to Canada, East Side, and I vowed, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I mean, like, I did stuff with my family, but a lot of the times I spent it just sitting there, like, and initially it felt weird. Like when we first got there, I was like, this feels weird. Like I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I should be using my time more effectively. And I think in that moment, I was just like, I just need to just rest. And I did a video about time management. And I think one of my tips on there was just to rest. I'll put it up here, the video. But I was just like, I just need to rest. That's it. I could have tried to do the most. I could have tried to schedule a photo shoot with a photographer out there. I could have tried to be doing vlog stuff and all this stuff. But there came a moment I was just like, I am tired. I'm tired. So I'm going to sit here and not do a damn thing. And wow, it felt so good. I came back relaxed. Like you could see it on my face. My face was glowing. And I'm like, I'm going to take this energy with me into 2020. When I feel like I need to rest and I feel like I need a day off, it's like, that's it. There is no other reason like, oh, why taking a day off? For nothing but to sit at home and do nothing. I don't want to look at a laptop. I don't want to look at the screen. I just want to look at the TV and watch a movies, binge a series, and just do nothing for a day. Like, it's okay. It doesn't make you any less. It just means that you're honoring your body, and you're telling yourself, you know what? I'm resting today to prepare myself for what I got to do in the future. Those are my intentions for the new year, but I genuinely feel like instead of trying to focus on making resolutions, just make intentions, things that you can intend to do every day. These are daily things that you can put your mind to. Yes, we all have goals. Yes, we all have dreams. I am not negating that. I definitely have a whole lot that I would love to accomplish in the next 10 years within this decade. I do. And those things are still very much happening. I've written them down. I've been written them down. And I'm like, okay, God, I wrote them down and I'm working towards it. I revisit it every once in a while to see, like, what is this dream that I wrote down? Okay, right. And then I see, have I accomplished something towards that dream? If I have, pat on the back because I did what I had to do. In the future, I will reap what I have sowed. It's just a matter of being patient with it. And so instead of trying to write all these goals, I'm saying I'm going to accomplish in 2020. I'm going to finish it. I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm laying the foundation. I will know. You will know when the foundation has been fully laid, when you've watered the seed, when you've nurtured it, when you cater to it, when you've just watched it grow. You will know when the time has come. Your time will come and you will see it being fruitful. You'll be like, got it. That's what that was for. So with that said, thank you so much as always for tuning in to my video. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
I would have and I flipped it in a double. All that I would have and I flipped it